Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pastrami Nation Podcast. My name is Nolan Smith, and joining us for this episode, we have a mix of podcasters you've seen before, and then a mix of podcasters maybe you haven't seen in a while. But I want this to be the group of podcasters you see moving forward. So we want to have these faces in front of you every 2 weeks. So let me go ahead and introduce who we do have. First off, we have co-founder of Pastrami Nation, Jason Smith.
Hi, everybody.
We have our very own entertainment editor, Kevin Hoskinson.
Hey, everyone.
We have longtime contributor for us, reviewer, Daniel Schwartz, joining us for the very first time.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, great to be here.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks.
And we have returning, for those of you who've been watching the podcast for a while, Robert Lamphere.
I know that guy.
Glad to be back.
Glad to have you.
Oh, so glad to have you. As I was saying before we jumped on live, like, me and Jason have known Robert for a very long time. Like, we were kids buying comics off of Robert.
Comics Plus days.
Yeah.
Good times.
He is the man when it comes to comics. So
yes.
I want to welcome everybody. Welcome everybody who's watching. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter right now, and we hope to bring you a year full of pop culture greatness. So before we get started, we always give away something. We have wonderful, wonderful partners in the community. Apollo Burger is one of them. So today you can win a Pastrami Nation combo, courtesy of Apollo Burger. Nope, you ask every time. You never will.
Try, right?
No. But Jason and Eddie actually helped make this sandwich. And it's huge and it's amazing. They did a fantastic job on it. If you haven't tried it yet, head over to Apollo. But you can win one just by dropping a comment. You can say hi. You can say, what you think about the topics we're talking about, what you want to see us talk about later on. You can say anything. Just drop a comment, let us know, and it can be on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. And we're going to do something different. We're going to announce the winners for that at our next podcast. As soon as the next one starts, we will announce the winners. So leave those comments. But let's go ahead and first off, guys, what has been going on in your world? How have things been?
Yeah, things have been pretty good.
I'll jump in.
There was the awkward silence.
Things have been going pretty well, man. The anxiety of waiting for WandaVision season finale has been killing me. But other than that, things are going pretty well.
How about the rest of you guys? Jason?
Yeah. Can't complain, just enjoying TV, started watching that Young Rock a couple of weeks ago. Pretty good show.
Oh, great.
WandaVision, of course. And that new, was it Superman and Lois? Pretty good show.
Yep. And actually, Daniel Schwartz did a write-up about that. And I know
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Very good.
CW kind of let me down from time to time, but that felt like a Superman show. So, yeah. And what about you, Robert? How are you doing out there?
So up here in Oregon, I'm probably now the furthest one away from you guys.
Well, I'm up in Oregon too. Yeah.
Yeah. Evan's up there too.
Where about?
Hillsboro area.
Oh, okay. So you're actually a little further north than where I'm at.
Nice.
So you're further.
Oh,
all right. So Oregon's a great place.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of comic book areas where I'm at, we have a choice now of 5 different comic book stores to be able to go to.
That doesn't sound too bad,
It's not.
Real. Wow.
It's kind of crazy. It's coming
from
picture of an area where for so long there was nothing. It's great to see the pop culture within the comic book realm just starting to blossom again, at least around here.
That's awesome.
I envy you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much.
Out here, it's like shops are few and far in between, and when you do find one, it's in like a rundown San Bernardino, and the guy says, I'll turn the lights on for you if you want. And it just kind of...
don't talk about that owner that way. We won't name any names.
Yeah, but
that guy is just.
But no, that's awesome that you have so many shops out there. And speaking of comics, let's go ahead and jump into it. Is New Comic Book Day. There was a very big release today, and it was from Boom Studios, and it was one co-written by Keanu Reeves called BRZRKR, and it has been lighting the industry on fire. It's been breaking records. It's been just so much hype, and I think everybody got a little worried because so much hype, but no advanced review copy came out. Nobody knew until I think last week when I sent it out to you guys and we got to check it out. Then we finally got to realize that it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty damn brutal.
Brutal is a very good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Trying to get a shock factor in is a definite. But
yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Nolan it kind of reminded me of like watching a Deadpool movie where he's just flying through there, getting hurt, don't matter. But I mean the action sequences were drawn so well, it was almost like watching a movie. I mean, it just flowed from page to page.
Yes.
Well, that's one of Garney's strengths. I always felt that he was somewhere between a Romita Jr. and a Frank Miller, and that style definitely permeates this issue. There's a couple of scenes, a couple of panels in there that it's like, yep, that reminds me very much of a Frank Miller. The harshness of it is very reminiscent of Sin City.
Yes. Lots of brain matter.
Yes.
Well, I love the comparison there. Well, for Garney, because that nails it. Garney was not the original artist, set for this. They had a different artist set, and when I saw the press release come through and it said Ron Garney is taking over, I was like, oh crap! Like they're not messing around because you already have Matt Kent writing,
right?
And I love Matt Kent's writing. He's so good, so outstanding. He nails characterization. To me, it feels like somebody took John Wick and somehow ramped it up more. And I think that's what this catered to. This caters to the those of us that love the John Wick films, and anybody who loves action films pretty much love John Wick. How do you top it? Make him immortal, and
which they did, basically.
They did, and I thought that was so great. Story-wise, it was simple, but it worked. Nice setup in there, and at least for me, I heard Keanu's voice saying it while you're reading it.
You could see,
you credit Keanu and Kent on that because absolutely nailed the dialogue.
It's like John Wick meets Deadpool, kind of.
There you go.
I was almost thinking, John Rambo.
Yes.
Especially in the first Blood, with how little he actually said throughout the vast majority of it.
Yep.
That's a good point. Put that with the first John Wick film, which again is like minimal lines, and you just let him go at it. And
it definitely felt like a Keanu Reeves movie.
It did, and very cool ending. It left you like, oh, cool. And I would love to. I want to see stories going back too.
Yeah, the ending actually is what made the story for me.
Yes.
It was 48 pages thereabouts, and for the most part, it was so well choreographed that you really didn't even have to read it to know exactly what was going on, and that's a statement about Matt Kent's writing. He's well known for being able to tell a very visual story, but then Ron Garney's artwork just coming in and being able to tell the story visually was fantastic as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I mean, I have it right here. I have my iPad as I scrolled through. I mean, somebody said cinematic. A few people did, and I can't agree more. It's so cinematic. And I even saw today that Keanu said that he would love to play this character on film.
Oh,
He has to. It has to be him.
He has to, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's just we got to see it. We're just one issue in, and this is a project that months ago they did a Kickstarter, and it was Boom's first big like premium Kickstarter where they offered the 3 hardcover collections, which like issue 1's not even out yet, and it sold through the roof. You had like the edition that looked like bullet holes were in the hardcover, and I was so tempted. I was so tempted to pull the trigger on that and get that, but it seems like it's going to be a well worth investment for those people because it seems like it's going to be a great story. Boom really has shown that they are one of the top players because growing up it was always you have the big 2, and then you have the Image and Dark Horse and them. Boom has solidified that they can do horror comics, they can do action comics, they can do licensed comics, they can do them, and they can do them all very well. So,
and their package is very well done. The quality of the books are very, great paper, great quality all the way around. You don't have any or hardly anywhere near the printing errors that you see from the big 2.
Yes.
And at the same price point as the big 2.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Very true. And I do hope that everybody can pick this issue up. I know it's been selling out like crazy despite the massive print run. But, check out, comicbooksurplus.com. I did check earlier. It looked like they had already sold out. But keep trying. Check down this book. It is well worth it. And I will hope to get a formal written review up soon. But if you guys did have to give it a rating between 0 and 5, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 5. It was good. It kept you entertained. You didn't get bored. There wasn't like sometimes you read a comic and there's just too much word balloon and not enough. Like you feel yourself reading a novel, and this just worked perfectly. And then at the end, it's like, wow, are we gonna see him punch the brain out of a saber-toothed tiger or something? I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it's I give it a 5 too, and it's interesting because you see he has 8,000 years of history to cover. I mean, you can basically put him in any period in history, and he's rolling through, probably doing some damage there too. So it sets it up to where you're really excited to see what's next.
Very good, very true.
I would have to give it a 4, and that's actually a little bit more on the generous side. And that's for me only because the scene where he was an infant kind of, for me, pushed the boundaries a bit too far, especially for a mass marketable book.
I see that.
Absolutely.
And so with that, definitely not a book for anyone 14 and under.
Agreed.
No.
And that part just kind of snuck up on you, and you're like, because the violence is there, but the violence is everywhere. It's
right.
We've seen it in Mortal Kombat. We see it everywhere. So no, I mean, a 4 from you, from somebody who's well versed in the comic world. I mean, that's highly respectable. So
yes.
All right, that leaves you, Hoskinson.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I got to give it a 5, just because it's exactly what I wanted a Keanu Reeves written and starring comic to be. Like, yeah, it's perfect. Like, especially for him. Yeah, definitely a 5.
Yep, and I'm agreeing with the 5s on this one. You'll see my written review coming up, but it's got to be a 5 for me. It was just so good, so enjoyable, and I cannot wait. To see what we get next. Drop a comment, everybody. Let us know if you picked it up, what you thought. Mm-hmm. If you're hyped for it at all. I do see we got some comments. See, we got hello Rebecca, hello Sean Tracy, hello Bean. How are you? Bean put he hasn't even bought the first issue yet. He's hoping he can get it. I hope he can get it too. Yes. Crystal says hi. Hello.
Hi, Crystal.
And then Bean says hello, Crystal. So you got a bunch of hellos
Maybe.
right there. So make sure you check that out. It's well worth your time. Before we jump into our second topic, quick reminder, drop those comments, win a Pastrami Nation combo from Apollo Burger.
Let me drop my comment real quick so I can win. Yeah.
Go ahead. I dare you. You won't win. But all you got to do is leave a comment to enter to win. And, thank you to Apollo for all of their support.
Yes.
They've been amazing. Thank you for honoring us by even naming one of your products after us.
Yes.
So we
That was
greatly
awesome.
appreciate it. So drop those comments. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep that going until the next podcast, and then we'll draw the winner. So you got time. Leave those comments right now, everybody. Let's jump into a kind of controversial topic.
Yes.
So a few things happened last week, and we can talk about it, and we can be civil as we talk about it. So Mr. Potato Head was announced to be
Mr. Potato Head.
going away to become Potato Head. And it was met with a world of backlash. We'll jump into that a little more. But another thing that happened the same week was there is something proposed for the state of California that if stores divide boy toys and girl toys, they can get fined up to $1,000 if this is passed. So I want to throw this out. What is everybody's thoughts on this? And go.
Well, I mean, I'm glad they're focusing on the real issues in the world. Let's the girl toys and the boy toys. I mean, yeah, because there's nothing else important going on right now. That hey, let's find you because you have Barbie over here and G.I. Joe over here. Well, guess what? It's going to happen anyway because Barbie is its own product line, and Barbie stuff stays in the Barbie section, and G.I. Joe stays in the G.I. Joe section. And I don't know what brain trust is the one that just thought of that. I mean, were they bored or whatever? It's like I don't know. Like, what does the world come to?
So, all right, what else we got?
My thought is, and about as political as I'm going to get on this subject, is that there should never be any kind of regulation dictating unless it's a controlled substance, such as certain magazines or alcohol or anything like that, there should not be any kind of regulation dictating how a store should be merchandised, or even who the store owners wish to provide services to.
That's a really good point. And, having worked retail for a long time, and I know Jason can say the same, you get your planograms. You get, the way you set it up. And Robert, you've owned the store as well.
Yep.
You know that, this is the way it goes. You have to have order, so that's where my mind went automatically, was like, you need order. Otherwise you're going to have DD's discounts where just everything's thrown away.
Walmart, right?
Well, there we go. All right. Other comments. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, on the Potato Head subject, I mean, in my opinion, I think that toys kind of, sales have decreased. We all loved it growing up. It was one of the more popular toys there, but kids today don't have, they have a zillion other choices. So I'm pretty sure the sales are going down. Hey, if we make a statement here, the news is talking about it. Social media is talking about it. We're talking about it. So I think that's the whole point is even if and from what I hear, they might be drawing back on that and going back, from doing that. But I mean, we're already talking about it. So they won or it worked.
Good point. Marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. So I have kind of so for me personally, like this might get a little bit deeper, but I've never really differentiated. I know it sounds super weird. I know they say, Barbies are for girls, G.I. Joes for boys, whatever. I never differentiated that, so like my daughter wants to play, she wants a Ninja Turtle toy, I buy her a Ninja Turtle toy. My son wanted a Barbie, you got him a Barbie, you know what I mean? So to me, it was never like divided like that. But even if I saw like Mr. Potato Head, for example, like I wouldn't automatically be like that person that's like, this is for boys only. You know what I mean? Like I'd get it for my girl, whatever, you know. And I think it's just gotten to the point. And on the other hand, taking the Mr. out of Mr. Potato Head, I don't see what the big deal is, to be honest. To me, it's just like, okay, it's still a potato head toy. You know what I mean? So it's
Somebody
like
was really bored there to think of that, you know?
Yeah, and like you said, you know, there are other issues that need to be taken care of in this world, and it's like they're focusing on, people are upset about what's that?
They're focusing on toys.
They're focusing on toys.
Mr.
Yeah,
Potato
and it's like
COVID. Mr.
Right?
Potato Head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
it's a little-
still in this little pandemic, you know.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I mean, it's like, Daniel said earlier, it does seem like a marketing ploy. You know, they're making money now. They're going to sell 1 million potato heads. Just like what happened with the Dr. Seuss fiasco too. You know, like they banned all those books, and those books jumped to number one, like on overnight, basically. So it's either way. It's just like, you know what, we have other things to worry about. Let's focus on this.
I agree, and I do think it was an attention grab because we saw that they did walk it back, and they said like, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head aren't going anywhere, and they'll probably offer it as another option to there. But I think Daniel nailed it. I think it was a marketing ploy because you're right. When you have a generation of kids who would rather play video games or be on their phones, they're not picking up a little brown toy. Like, and
Just
maybe
his
now.
nose on or his eyes on.
We have to exactly, and we have to keep in mind that we're now in a Toys R Us free society. And it's absolutely horrible. I'm still a Toys R Us kid.
Me too.
But when that company went out, there was no national toy store chain left. And
left an awful
every
void in the
single
world.
Toy manufacturer that sold through Toys R Us took a huge bite out of their productions. And any company that's left is just struggling now to even maintain a foothold within what's given space-wise in the stores that remain. When Target and Toys R Us remained the number one toy selling outlets, that's really a sad state when, most of them only have 2 aisles dedicated where once we had an entire store. And going back when KB Toys was around, there was even more.
Those were the good old days. KB. I remember looking in those windows as a kid, before the mall opened. My mom would take me on like the mall walking thing, and I'd always look in that window.
Yep.
Good times.
No, that's a very good point, Robert. I mean, every toy manufacturer is competing for those spots on those little tiny aisles inside Walmart and Target and Walgreens and Rite Aid, and it's not easy. So I agree, and hopefully people will buy more toys due to all this. If it was a marketing ploy, because I would much rather see kids play with toys than be glued to the screen. So
now that said, if they release the gender neutral potato head Funko Pop, I'll probably get that.
Well, there you go. See, because then you also have Funko people in the world.
That's me.
And here I thought the majority of Funko Pops were already gender neutral.
I didn't expect Robert to take it. Well, if you are watching, or if you're watching the recorded version of this or the audio version of this, drop a comment. Let us know what you think about the whole toy divide situation. I see we have some comments. What's up, Rich Frank? He says he has a Lewis Lane Barbie, and he also says TRU, he grew up in that place, and his gramps used to work there. Yeah, Jason and I used to work there as well. Did our time.
Good times.
First job was KB Toys for me.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of toy-holics here.
Yes.
And that's not a bad thing. And Kevin's staying quiet, but I know you love your.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I love the toys, man. I need them. I spend way too much money on them.
Yes.
Don't we all, man?
We all do. We all do.
Awesome. Well, keep those comments coming. For the last thing, I just kind of want to go back to Comic Book Day and see what comics, if there's any, are you looking forward to that dropped this week, that dropped today? I know I just dropped this question on you, so I'll start with a few, and feel free to jump in. So, of course, Berserker. Yes, Berserker. Noctura from Image Comics came out today. Another very, very big release. Snyder and Daniel doing that one where the sun gets blotted out of the sky and the world is plunged into darkness. I checked out the review copy of that, and it's amazing. I especially love the last few pages. Excellent design work in there. So check out Noctura. One I was talking to Daniel about before we jumped on the air. Dead Dog's Bite, #1. And it is from Dark Horse Comics, who a lot of people don't know, but Dark Horse is one of my favorite publishers. They have been for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
So Dead Dog's Bite sounds like it's about a dog attack, which is what I was telling Daniel, and I was like, it could be good, right? So picked it up. This is a total mystery book about a young lady who went missing. Where is she? With the Twilight Zone twist in it. It's super, super good. It's not like the other releases that hit today, but it's something that I think if you like mystery books, you should definitely check out Dead Dog's Bite. Any books that you have seen today that you're excited about?
Wow, it's quiet again.
I'm waiting for Robert to jump in.
All right. So I've been kind of on the back burner in terms of comics lately because of a lot of things that are going on. However, that being said, the Star Wars side of things are just continuing to burn up both back issue and the new issues with the upcoming I think it's already started, is the Bounty Hunter crossover event, going through all of the Marvel comics. And, there's plenty of Star Wars rumors that are just feeding back issue frenzy. It astonishes me that like Heir to the Empire #1, which a couple of years ago was a $5 book, first appearance of Thrawn in comic books, and it's now right around the $200 mark. It just boggles my mind.
It's because of Thrawn.
Exactly. But
you would never have expected
until
that.
They mentioned Thrawn in The Mandalorian, that's when all of the activity started. It wasn't because of Thrawn, how awesome he was in the Rebels cartoon series or anything else. It wasn't until The Mandalorian said the name Thrawn that all of a sudden even the miniseries that came out a few years back from Marvel just quadrupled in price almost overnight. It's just insane, all of the Star Wars stuff that's going on.
That's crazy.
And we're seeing it everywhere too, because Marvel publishes
Q back there.
Star Wars one. Was that Q?
Hey, Q.
Q's hiding, jumping around.
How you doing?
Good.
Marvel does publish it, and then IDW publishes the young readers kind of versions, which are still great reads. You'll see quite a few reviews of those pop up on Pastrami Nation. I agree. Star Wars is on fire right now. That Bounty Hunter crossover is only going to make things bigger. And let's see, we got some comments. Somebody said the Charmander ECCC Diamond Pop drops tomorrow at Target. It's for all you Funko people. Yeah. All you Funko. Yeah, see? And then Rich Frank said, my wife says hi, hello. I know she's always watching the show too. Justice League Academy, he says. Speaking of DC, a book that I forgot came out today and looked really interesting was the Crime Syndicate one. I'm a big fan of the Crime Syndicate. I love Evil Superman and Owlman and Johnny Quick. Give me all those ridiculous characters. So that might be worth checking out. DC and Marvel have been very hit or miss for me. I've definitely went into my indie hole, but I think it'd be worth a look. Jason Bean says I'm burned out on the Star Wars comics. I can understand that too. They've been releasing a ton of them. One thing that just popped in my head for no given reason is, did you guys know Conan's in the Avengers now? Like Conan the Barbarian?
I have no idea about that.
I saw that the other day and I was like, that's super cool. I'm a big Conan fan. So, sorry, I just had to throw that in there. Jason Bean makes a very, very good point. Bad Idea's first book dropped today.
Yes.
And all I can say is that Bad Idea is a bad idea. And talking about publicity stunts, the whole concept of what they're doing is nothing but a publicity stunt because they're so limiting their market.
Yeah, and I followed them since the first press release hit, and it has been a lot of marketing employees, the button and stuff like that. And I'm excited. I want to read it. It's a Matt Kemp book, and I hope I get my copy because I pre-ordered it a long time ago. But I know for a lot of people it's a sore subject because you look on eBay and those things are hitting $100 for a $4 book.
Well, that's because even when they went to print, the stores are being allocated. Some stores less than 50% of what they ordered. And so if they were ordering based upon pre-orders, that means that 50% of the pre-orders are not even going to get their books.
Oh boy.
Right. And pre-order is always that's the grail, right? Like you pre-order, you're set. And
you should have it, yeah.
That's my thing. I love pre-order my books, so when I see a book drop and I'm like, you should have did that because I did it and I don't have to worry about it. Now, even if you do it, you could still be left in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
It does kind of put a buzzkill on it because I do want to read stories.
It is interesting though that they said that they would not have second prints, but they're releasing the not first print.
Yep. So they didn't lie. They got you on a technicality, which I know. Yeah. They do have some interesting books coming out. Tankers coming out. Whalesville, which looks fantastic.
Yes.
I do hope people get to get it in their hands, this new one, and read it and let us know what you think. I'm hoping once my shop gets it in, I know they didn't receive theirs yet. Hopefully I can read it. I see Sean Tracy commented, Diamond is already screwing them over with delayed release. And I'm hearing that from a lot of comic shops that they're not receiving them. So, and I see somebody put, did you see the spike in the original Marvel cards recently?
Yes.
That was insane. That 3 or 4 days where like people wanted the rookie card of Deadpool. Like
now who's the nerd?
Yeah, I mean, we were buying Marvel Universe Series 1, 2, 3, all the fun stuff, but now it's
You're buying them from Robert.
The flare ones, the with a thick pack. Yep.
Look like a cigarette pack.
They were
Flare
cool. Oil. Yeah, and they were like thick cards, like you could throw it at somebody's eye and poke it out.
Oh yeah.
Going a little Christmas Story there.
Right.
Sure.
Right. Yep. But yeah, it was weird. But the Marvel card thing died back down. People, it's just like the whole GameStop thing. It came and it went, but it was fun while it lasted. But hopefully cards make their comeback. I'd love to see Marvel Masterpieces come back with a really decent set.
So you mean I'm not rich?
You quit your job for nothing.
Damn.
No. All right. Well, that's actually all the time I have for today, all the topics I have for today. I'd like to thank everybody who's been commenting. Keep on commenting for your chance to win a Pastrami Nation combo from Apollo Burger. I'd like to thank, of course, Jason and Kevin, who are always on here. Thank you so much. And thank you to Daniel and Robert for joining our little group. And we look forward to many, many more episodes to come. As we talk about even more crazier things in Potato Head or Keanu Reeves brain matter. So,
who knows what they'll be calling Mr. Potato Head by then?
And
Half-baked.
Yep.
And even Jason Bean agrees. He'd buy a box of a new Marvel card set if it came out. We're with you, Bean. We're with you.
Oh, yeah.
Give us a decent artist to do it, and we're with
Just
you.
let Alex Ross do a Marvel Masterpiece series.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or if that Hildebrandt, the one that's still alive.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
the only way you top Jusko, I think, Because
Or just
Jusko
have
knocks it
Jusko
up
do it.
hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eddie Granov would be an awesome one
Yes.
to do. And he's already done enough covers that they can release an entire set just off from what he's already done for the variant cover side.
Oh, very much
And
so.
and I love that style too. Very good choice. All right, well, we will bring you another podcast in 2 weeks' time. Thank you again for tuning in. And signing off for Pastrami Nation, we are the Meat of Pop Culture. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.